With me is Katie Dickson of Moore Farms Botanical Gardens. And Katie, you have brought a magnificent array of plants today.
Thank you. Yes, I am very spoiled as a gardener at Moore Farms. We get to choose from all kinds of fabulous material.
So this would be like stepping into your greenhouse.
Essentially, yes. This morning I just took a stroll and picked out things that I thought were unique and flowering at the moment.
Well, let's learn about them. Over here we have one that, my goodness, it sort of looks like an alien creature.
Yes, absolutely. This is my very favorite spring flowering bulb. It's called Schuberts Onion. It's a perennializing bulb, so you get a lot of bang for your buck when you purchase the bulb. You plant it in fall, and you just have to be patient, and it'll emerge in spring. And the fresh cut bloom is a bit more pink. It's sort of a hazy pink inflorescence, and this is the dried form of it. So it almost looks like a suspended firework, if you will.
Oh, it really does. And then you could keep it on display for quite a while.
Absolutely. I've heard of people trying to make wreaths out of them, or just dried centerpieces, or, you know, the sky's the limit. The cool thing about this is it doesn't have the pungent odor that most allium family members have.
Very
so
nice.
This will not offend your guests if you were to cut
Always
that.
important. Don't want to throw a dinner party and have a stinky house, right?
Yeah, no onions on the table, but yeah, Schubert's onion is awesome.
Cool. And then next we have a plant with a real interesting texture. Tell me about that.
Yes, so if you think that the flower looks a little bit fuzzy or flossy, it's perfect because the name is Floss Flower or Ageratum. This particular variety is called Aloha Blue, and it's reported to be the most compact, kind of dense mounding of the ageratums, and also the most early flowering. So as you can see, it's already putting off these fabulous little cup flowers. They hold up fairly well in a bud vase, and they also attract pollinators. So if you're into that, like I am,
that explains your fascination with it.
Absolutely, and this guy does act as an annual here, so it's just some nice seasonal color for summer.
Spice things up a bit.
Yeah.
And then next we have something with what I think is sort of an unusual leaf color.
Yes, I agree. This has fabulous kind of creamy margins. This spreading succulent is called Tinea, and like you noted, it has this great kind of white variegation. The flower, by contrast, is actually this really cool kind of delicate reddish magenta.
Oh, I love that. What a contrast there.
Absolutely, and what's really cool about it is they close up at night, or on cloudy days they will refuse to open, and so they only show themselves in the sunshine.
I get a little grumpy on cloudy days too.
Sometimes I feel like Tinea, but yeah.
And this one's good as far as water conservation goes.
Absolutely, it's very much a xeric plant. If you felt the soil in this pot, it's rather dry.
Oh, it is.
It has those succulent functions, so if you don't like to water things like myself, put that out as a ground cover and you'll be very pleased.
Sounds perfect for me.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have a much darker green foliage on this plant and some neat little purple tubular flowers.
Absolutely. So this is also a really cool annual, it only gets about 2 feet tall. The name of this plant is Plectranthus. The particular variety is Mona lavender because of the fabulous kind of lavender haze of blooms we have going on. Another cool feature is the underside of the leaf is a very dark dramatic purple, almost black tone.
Gorgeous.
And the leaf itself is pretty hairy. So it's a very interesting plant. It comes to us from South Africa, and it prefers sort of a dappled shade environment. So if folks at home like growing hostas and ferns and heucheras, throw some of these in for color, and it'll really kind of brighten up the shade.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking of brightening things up, you've got another exciting one over there with that kind of pendulous flower draping over the side.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of back to the succulent side of things, this is a member of the cactus family. A lot of folks call it night blooming cereus. I prefer to call it queen of the night because it's a little more
kind of dramatic.
Dramatic of a name, yes. So this queen of the night is featuring this fabulous flower right now. It's sort of alien, kind of half opened at the moment, but as you can see, there are plenty of other buds that have yet to open, so I'm going to keep an eye on this guy. I've heard that the modified leaves here can get 8 feet long. I've never been able to grow in that long, but a very, eye-catching sort of alien-esque plant.
People would be oohing and eyeing if you had one at your house, wouldn't they?
Absolutely. Throw that thing in a hanging basket and you'll get all kinds of compliments. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then on the floor, we have some additional plants. I know you're a fan of bromeliads.
Yes, I am. I'm such an enthusiast of these plants because they have this wonderful adaptation to catch any sort of water and nutrients while lodged in the trees. In their native habitats, bromeliads basically affix themselves as epiphytes in the understory of jungle trees. So their only way to get water is to form these rosette sort of cup structures, and that way they can gather any droppings and insects and water that comes from above. So I just think that's such a cool adaptation.
That really is amazing. And people would probably be familiar with a different plant in this group.
Yes, so the pineapple is a bromeliad, and so that's probably the most economically important of the bromeliads, but I think they're all fabulous and they come in all different patterns and colors. So
plenty to choose from.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, and in the middle, one of my favorite native vines. You know, we have a lot of natives to choose from, but I don't know that we find them in the trade very often.
Right, so this one is a little more readily available. This is a great vine, native like you said. This is the Bignonia or cross vine. The particular variety is Tangerine Beauty, and that's because of the fabulous kind of rosy tangerine blooms. It's very much like a trumpet flower, and when this thing is mature and you've trained it 20, 30 feet up, it's the most dramatic carpet of orange flowers you've ever seen, and one of my favorites as well.
And it has some interesting color in the fall?
Absolutely. It takes on sort of a bronzy reddish color, so I think you can still appreciate that, even if it's not, you know, a truly green, evergreen. I think, you know, even having bronze color is still really fabulous.
Definitely, yeah. And then finishing up, we have one that's pretty common. I know I have it growing at my house. What is that nice, lovely yellow flower?
Yes, that is our angel trumpet. And so this particular angel trumpet, which is a little kind of vague as a common name. Some folks think it's Brugmansia, some think it's Datura. This particular specimen I brought is Brugmansia. And the way that I tell people to differentiate is that Brugmansia has nodding flowers and Datura's flowers are kind of upright trumpets. So, you know, that's a way to jump off of, I guess. It's a jumping off point to identify these plants. Both are from the Solanaceae family, so believe it or not, they're related to potatoes and tomatoes and peppers. So you can feast on those things, but all parts of these plants, the Brugmansias, are poisonous.
Oh goodness,
so
no eating those.
No, don't add that to the salad. So kind of fearsome, but has fabulous flowers and will flush back every year if you cut down the canes.
Right.
Towards the end of the growing season, it will regenerate. So
awesome,
really cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for bringing this lovely assortment of flowers